Hello, excuse me. Hello, everybody. We are back for another random run. So, yesterday's run went pretty well, and today's daily went pretty well. We got a random within a random again. I'm Ron Burgundy? Maybe. I don't know. NQ, HD, 1A. So, we've got lower than average fire rate. We've got void, so that might help circumvent some of those issues. Maybe get some. Oh well, if we don't take damage, and we got Zodiac. Man, my throat. My throat's been getting better though with these long commentary like shenanigans. I'm not taking that. Not again. Uh, Now that is nice. So now we're a little bit better up with this damage and stuff. It's just our health is a little touchy, but hopefully we can get that up and some other damage ups. Um, yeah, I mean, it's still Wednesday morning, still cloudy and stuff. It's supposed to rain for a good part of the week, I guess. It rained last night, which was really nice. Like, I had my window open, and the rain didn't really come in too much, so it was very soothing. Had periods of like light rain and heavy rain and stuff. No thunder, unfortunately. That would have been kind of nice too. Something soothes me into my sleep. It kind of stopped by the time I went to bed. We definitely need the rain. Heard some cardinals and stuff and sparrows out chirping around this morning. That was the thing I used to do was bird watch. At least attempt to. My mother used to teach me about like the different birds and like around the area and stuff. And I used to get into it a bit, and then I just kind of like quickly got out of that because it's birds. I mean, birds don't do a whole lot. Oh, we have Libra, or not Libra. Something. We have that one thing where it balances everything out. So we got to be careful for this floor then. I mean, they're just birds, I guess. They don't do a lot. Oh, they're pretty. They're pretty birds. Polly want a cracker? Oh, it's hot, huh? Okay. So yeah, like, it was a couple of years ago, I actually seen a bluebird. I'm like, holy crap, it's a bluebird. Because, like, around here, they're extremely rare. Probably because all the eagles and hawks and stuff like that eating them. And there's a lot of those. And, of course, you know, you got your blue jays, too. They're out there doing their thing. And sparrows, which, from what I was reading, they are invasive species. And they typically attack other birds in packs. And extremely invasive in their nests. They get into the nests of other birds and they just start killing off the eggs and other like younglings. And they're a mess. Forget them. And I didn't know about that until recently. I guess someone brought him from another country. It's like, and then it gets loose, and it's like, oh no. How could I have foreseen this to happen? Okay. Well, we're like half a heart, so this is gonna get a little dangerous out here. Okay. So I guess we got Aquarius. Yeah, because of the water trail. Oh, this room, huh? Then you got your, you know, your typical. That's a double tinted rock right there. Then you got your typical like hawks, eagles, buzzards, turkey vultures, just vultures in general, condors, which are even rarer. I mean, turkey vultures obviously look like turkeys. I mean, just more buff and more dangerous to other animals because they're just meat eaters. Just imagine a turkey but skinnier and buffer and eats meat instead of like a bunch of grains. I think turkeys. I think they can eat meat too. Maybe. I mean, I've heard of birds eating like the yolk of their own that they produce or something, or others. I mean, cannibalism, I guess. But hey, at the same time, it's like it's good protein. Do I advocate like cannibalism? Well, no. But birds, they don't have that kind of logical sense. It's like, oh yeah, I like the taste of my own like kind's flesh. Pretty tasty, you know? I mean, I could be screwy and just take that. But I'm gonna hold off. Let's see. Oh my word, we're not gonna get a deal. I just noticed because like it's probably gonna be a small room boss, which is probably like a mega fatty or something. Oh, I haven't seen these rooms that much. I definitely had to take that heart because we are in the danger zone. See, we could have died there if didn't take it. Come on. You know, you got your, your typical turkey. Because they're just fat and they gobble and they just kind of flutter. I don't know. And they're pricey. Imagine, like, owning a pet turkey, though. Like, do they have, like, leashes for turkeys? Like, I know, like, the other day I saw someone walking a ferret on a leash with a little harness on. That thing was just going sporadic. Just going nuts. Like, hey, little fella. Like, something wrong? You're not used to a leash? You used to squirm in your cage and stuff? You used to that? Mystery gift, huh? BOGO bombs, huh? Wow. Wow. I might have to just re-roll. For the sake of this, because, like... Oh my word, okay. This is... Well, at least they're not bomb flies. Because they'll float around, bounce around, and then they explode on you. I have to take... Oh, wow, cool. A belly button, huh? And we don't get a deal. You know what? Well, because if we re-roll, then whatever. Let's do it. We need the health. We need some damage. Okay. What we got here? Alrighty. Actually, that turned out pretty well. I like that. Damage is pretty... Oh my goodness, my tier rate. Rip. Yeah, that was a bad thing. Oh my word. Oh my Lana. I don't know, I try to get into like different hobbies and try to see what kind of stuck over the years as a kid. I did used to play an instrument, the trumpet, and it was alright. It's just I wasn't really into playing instruments like that. Can't believe like our stats get erased from re-rolling like that. That sucks. Because we're not like 20 fire rate or something crazy. We're like one tier like higher than Samson. I want to talk to Samson. Like, I did some trumpet lessons when I was in middle school. And just shortly before classes start. And I didn't really practice much, and I just kind of fell out of it. And that was that. And then, like, middle school, too. As part of music class, we all required to play the guitar. No other instrument, so... There was that. I had some sore fingers and stuff and blisters, but I mean, could I've used a guitar pick? Yeah, but I think with fingers and stuff, like I was more used to it. With strumming along with with a pick. Then strumming along with a pick, I mean. Well, this is a nightmare, isn't it? Look at this. This is what hell feels like right now. I'm not burning up yet. What's going on here? Alright, come on. There we go. Take him down, take him down. There we go. I don't really want to use too many of my bombs. Oh, there goes our deal. Cool. Not that we needed it, really, right? And what other things I tried doing? Well, I tried doing very, very briefly skateboarding. Couldn't do it. Like, I know I had to practice, obviously. I just, like, wasn't really into it. I liked my bicycle more than my the skateboarding. That was a thing too, like when I was a kid, of course. I used to ride my bicycle in the street. Like a lot. And my mom would like warn me about getting out of the street and when you get hit by a car. She ain't wrong. And also our tier rate's even worse. Oh my goodness gracious. Somebody hooked me up with the tier rate increase stat. I mean, this is even worse. Yeah, and I did that, and then until my bicycle, like, you know, started like falling apart, and couldn't fix it, and then I just like stopped riding my bike. I don't know, there's something about freedom with like riding your bicycle like that. Oh boy. Did it? Oh my word, yeah, Firemind, of course. But yeah, as I was saying, there's something about like having a lot of freedom riding a bicycle in the street. You feel like a cool kid. Never running into these kids in the neighborhood, and I don't know why I ran into them this way and why they were doing that. I don't know what the whole context was. I think they're just trying to act tough on their little bicycles, and they, you know, you see in some movies, some kids circle around you with their bicycles and like say stuff to you, like you know, look at me with my bicycle. It's a bicycle. I mean, if they would have had training wheels or something on there, I'd be like, you're even more pathetic. But and we got a deal. It's hot garbage. Well, not totally hot garbage, but like I can feel the heat though. As much as I want Steam Cell, we just gotta roll with this. Okay, we're 2/3 from Guppy, so that's the start. We've got Libra, so that fixes our tier rate. Actually, well, oh yeah, we'll explore because we didn't even go to the item room yet. And your key bagger can just go away, please. Yeah, they just ride bicycles and stuff. And then there was this one kid I remembered. Now we're going back to like the squirrely kids, I guess. it's all coming to plan. But anyways, so there was this one kid, and he was known as a thief, kind of, around the parts, and not a lot of kids liked him at school because of obvious reasons. I think he also had like a short temper and kind of violent and stuff. Yeah, he's definitely like that because of some stuff he did with my brother, and I don't know, when you have a much older kid, you know, attack another human being that's like much smaller than you to the point like they had like a concussion or something. Like, you're not tough, you're just a you're just a monster with absolutely no concept of understanding or anything. Just trash. And many other words too. You swear word? Yeah. And so he would go around in his bicycle. There's nothing wrong with a bicycle and stuff, but the thing was, he had a little red wagon and stuff. And his little red wagon that's attached to his bicycle, and it went all the way up through high school that he was doing this, even past high school, I think, which is like absolutely redunkadunk. And okay, this is even better. Anyways, in fact, I might just keep this for once. So anyways, going back to the point here, he would take his, his little setup, and he would go around neighborhoods, case people's like houses and yards and porches and all this other stuff, and just find stuff to steal and take off with it. I think it got to the point where he got into our stuff. That's fine. He got into our stuff, and we might just roll again. Okay, we got a guaranteed deal with the devil with this, and even though our tier rate's a little slow, it's fine. But yeah, he went through our stuff and stole something, and I think it was so noticeable that we had the cops on him, called on him and stuff, and he had to return it and all this other stuff. I don't know if he had charges, probably not. Now he drives around with a pickup truck, and I think he does the same thing still. Oh, that's an upgrade. Still nobody likes him. I guess his hobby is stealing. Another thing I was into. Let's try this again. Okay. Actually, that's probably even better, and I would say we might just keep this. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna keep this run. I'm not messing with it anymore. We've got a good thing going on. We'll just take this with us, so we're not so tempted. What was I saying? Oh, we got Guppy too. Cool beans. Okay, so when Pokemon cards were first coming out, or when Pokemon was first coming out around that time, they had the Pokemon cards, Pokemon games, Pokemon this, Pokemon that, and we got into some Pokemon cards because we didn't have the money to get like a Game Boy until like years later, and just collected cards, trade cards, stuff like that, and it was like, I thought it was the coolest thing, because I never played Magic, I never played any other like trading card like that kind of game. I got really into it. But not like to the point where like I was, you know, playing with the other kids. It was more lines of my siblings, and because they had cards too. Because there wasn't a whole lot of time at recess, really, to, like, play a full game, and I was sure as heck not going to stay after school just to do that. Especially in the sketchy neighborhoods. Well, not as sketchy as, like, other parts of town, I guess, at the time, but now it's, I mean, it's still kind of sketchy. We sure as heck didn't want to get kidnapped. And then after that, it was Yu-Gi-Oh! And I had a neighborhood friend that I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! With, and then he had to move somewhere, somewhere like out west, not west. I'm thinking directions here. East. I was about to say west. So yeah, he moved, and then I, you know, played with my siblings of the game, and then eventually just kind of stopped. Of course, I didn't play as much with my brother because he had this mentality of like, well, because of his age at the time, even with Pokemon, even earlier. Like, of course, when you have children, especially that age for living in our household, you want to like make it so like they're not losing all the time or anything like that. They're just kind of winning. But the problem was it was being taught to win too many times. And so like I think that got into his head to where like he can make all the excuses he wants and new rules to games. And that sucks because like you try to teach your brother how to like play the game properly and have fun. And you can't have fun if he just wants to make the rules. Or if you don't abide by the rules, he'll freak out and stop playing. So what do you do? Well, I try adapting with it, but it's like, this is annoying. I'm done with you. You know, since we're generating flies, why not? And then, see what else I tried. There was another card game. Oh yeah, so Harry Potter had their own trading card thing too, and we didn't really get it as much into it as the others. So we had a little bit of that. Of course, a thing I used to do when I was a kid as well. Like, since we had so many like Pokemon cards and stuff, I used to like, you know, make card like card. Oh, Black Candle's nice. Oh, what is it? Card building. So like I would just like build all these structures out of cards, just huge stuff, and I've got photos of it, of me posing with a few. I did it with also like pixie cups or whatever you call them. I think they're called pixie cups because of their not only their size, but also like. Maybe because it was made by the Pixie Company? I don't know. Or if that's like a brand lineup? I don't know. I can't remember. It's been eons ago. It's been 10,000 years. So I think we should go back and look for one more penny so we get even more powerful flies. Yeah. And another thing we used to do, sort of like a hobby, sort of, kind of. There was this, so like occasionally when the power goes out, so like during like a thunderstorm or heavy winds or something, or like, of course, snowstorms, ice storms, we, us siblings used to like gather together and just kind of write our own fan fiction of Harry Potter. And I even did a little bit of that in middle school. When I was in middle school, we had computers for that, typing on there, and I mean I lost that information. Would have been cool to go back to it. Just a few weeks ago, as a matter of fact, I ran into one of my copies of stuff that I've read in, and it seemed like I was trying to stretch on to 10 chapters, and I only wrote like 2 or 3 or something. I just gave up, I guess. And this was all pre-conclusion of the Harry Potter saga. So, is this thing gonna pop up? There we go. I mean, it was a fun little activity, I guess. I mean, what else are you gonna do? Like, I mean, we had Game Boys and stuff, but like, I don't think Oh, maybe it's before Game Boys. I don't know. We had. I mean, there was no like smartphones. There was no like anything wireless. I mean, there was wireless stuff, of course, but I mean like in the sense of like a lot of entertainment and stuff, like a smartphone, but um. Other hobbies. Well, my brother, he used to like play the spoons a lot. So that was something he liked to do. He uh he got really into it, I guess. And he kind of stopped. And yeah, I mean, I'm trying to remember what else I used to do. That was kind of a hobbyish thing for a short time. I might actually save that for a couple of floors. Speed it up at the end. Man, I'm trying to think what else. I mean, there had to be more stuff I was doing. I would think. I mean, I used to play RuneScape, so I guess that's technically a hobby, but it's also gaming. I don't know. There's a lot of gamings I did too. I already touched upon that. We don't need the extra items. What do we got? A Krampus, okay. I would fight Hush, but I'm just crunching for time a little bit, so. Cathedral, okay. I mean, I was in acting class. I guess that was kind of, sort of like a hobby, sort of. I don't know. I chose the minor parts because I didn't want to deal with memorizing just very large text of a wall of text of like just stuff, and then the actions you gotta do with that stuff. In hindsight, I could probably just do it. I mean, I probably would have been able to do it. I just didn't feel like it. I guess I was lazy. Remember this one of those semester classes I had for acting. There's a thing about Santa Claus or something that was brought up. And so, like, you have to, like... Okay, so the whole gimmick for this, and this is, like, kind of theater practice, is a warm-up practice, is, like, getting people in the mood before they go and do whatever for, prep things, I guess, for, like, whatever future stuff, for future projects for... Here I am rambling on. I mean to say is like, it's a warm-up exercise before we go in there and practice for acting. And so like, this practice was you have someone designated as someone who is the person who knows everything, and he's correct, or she's correct, or something like that. And so we designated somebody who, you know, asking is Santa Claus real and stuff like that. You know, just a very kind of tame question. And my teacher had like the most adverse like reaction I've ever seen in an adult in those recent years. And it was like, so after that was said, like he kind of chuckled and laughed, and then he just went from 0 to 100 with his anger and yelling. It's like, don't you ever ask that question again, or something like that, or he threatened them or something. I'm like, whoa. Because like at that point I already knew like what the answer really was with that. I'm not going to say it because there might be some kids on here. But, you know, let's just say he did not like it at all. And the kid didn't even answer it or anything. So there's that. And then another thing too was like, so the theme of this play we were supposed to have that we're practicing for the end of the semester, there was a student in there who had like criminal records for like some somewhat nasty stuff. I think even an assault charge and stuff. Well, anyways, we didn't have a proper prop for a knife, and for some reason our acting teacher, pulled out like a very sharp big knife out of his desk. I think it was like a kitchen knife. So it's not like, you know, something you have for like, you know, sporting, like whatever. But no, he just had this big sharp knife. He just pulled it out of the desk, like, here you go. He gives it to the kid that has all these criminal records, and he was giving it to him like repeatedly until like we found a replacement. But then he was like telling, because like the thing he had to do was he had to like chase one of the students with the knife, and that's part of the scene. And then like after this one class we had, he was like telling us not to tell our parents that this happened, yada yada. Because everybody will get in trouble somehow, and somehow he's like part of it. I don't know. In hindsight, I mean, I knew then it's like that's just a bunch of nonsense. Like, who was trying to call me? It was like a spam number, whatever. They'll leave me a voice message or whatever. We're calling you about your car warranty. I bet that's what it is. Yeah, I don't recognize that number one bit. Yeah, eventually the teacher retired or something, or whatever happened. He moved on. And I actually ran into him a couple of years ago. And I was like, hey, are you such and such? You know, I asked him. It was like, yeah. It's like, oh, it's me from film class. Not film class, from acting class. He's like, oh, yeah, I remember you. Da da da. Just kind of briefly chatted. I'm like, man, I hadn't seen him since high school. It was nuts. Anyways, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.